People always tell me, John, you're too old for this. Too old for what? Revenge? Justice? Let me tell you something. They don't understand. I've waited more than 50 years for this moment. 50 years of anger, pain, and betrayal. And now it's time for me to tell my story. I'm 70 years old. I look frail, like any old man you'd see walking slowly down the street. But appearances can be deceiving. Behind these eyes is a mind that never forgot. Behind this body is a heart that never stopped planning. My name is John Miller, and I was wronged by a man named Bobby Jenkins. He wasn't just any man. He was a predator in a suit, a man who ruined my life, my family, and my future. But today, I will tell you exactly how I took my revenge. It all started back in 1972 in a small town in Kansas. I had invented a simple agricultural tool, something small but revolutionary for small farmers like me. It could have changed everything for our community. I trusted Bobby. I thought he was my friend. I thought he would help me. But he betrayed me. He tricked me into signing papers, stole my invention, and sold it to a big company for millions. I lost everything, my farm, my savings, my reputation. And Bobby? He laughed. He walked away richer, untouchable, and smug as ever. I moved away, kept my head down, built a quiet life. But the fire never left me. Every headline about Bobby, every news article, every TV appearance reminded me of what he stole from me. And I made a promise to myself, to my family, to my soul, that one day I would make him pay. I know what you're thinking. A 70-year-old man can't take revenge. But that's exactly what he underestimated, the patience and cunning of someone who has nothing left to lose but everything to gain. I started small. I watched Bobby's life for years, tracked his business moves, learned his habits, his weaknesses, the people he trusted blindly. Every detail mattered. Every step I took was calculated. I wasn't in a rush. Revenge is like chess. You have to think 10 moves ahead. I began anonymously tipping journalists about some of Bobby's shady deals. Nothing too dramatic at first, just enough to make people curious. Slowly, cracks appeared in his perfect image. People started talking. The media began investigating. Bobby didn't know who was behind it, but the pressure started building. Next, I reached out quietly to some of Bobby's victims, people he had heard over the decades. I didn't reveal myself. I just encouraged them to speak their truth. Their stories started surfacing, and with each one, Bobby's empire began to wobble. But my masterpiece was yet to come. I found a financial loophole, a mistake Bobby had made decades ago that no one noticed. I approached a law firm using a fake identity and gave them evidence. They investigated and found everything: long-forgotten frauds, contracts he had broken, illegal deals. Suddenly, Bobby's world began to collapse. I watched from a distance as lawyers surrounded him, journalists exposed him, and even his old allies began to turn. The man who thought he was untouchable realized too late that he had a ghost haunting him. And that ghost was me. It didn't happen overnight. It took patience. It took careful planning. But finally, Bobby was powerless. His accounts frozen, his reputation destroyed, his power gone. And me? I had done it without ever confronting him directly. That's the beauty of revenge. Sometimes the quietest moves are the deadliest. I want you to understand something. Revenge isn't about rage. It's not about screaming or violence. It's about patience, strategy, and timing. I waited decades because I needed the perfect moment, and when it came, I acted with precision. People call me a legend now in the small town. They don't know my name. They only know the story of the old man who took down a man nobody thought could be touched. And I don't need fame. I don't need recognition. I have closure. I have peace. I sit on my porch now, watch my grandchildren play, and I think about those years of planning, those years of patience. Every day of waiting was worth it. Bobby lost everything. I gained peace, and the world learned a lesson. Never underestimate someone who has nothing left to lose but everything to gain. If there's one thing I want you to take away from my story, it's this. Revenge isn't just for the young. It's for the patient, the strategic, the observant, and sometimes the smallest, oldest, quietest person in the room can be the one who changes everything. I am John Miller, I am 70, and I finally took my revenge.